Hello everybody, welcome to Magdalene's Wish, and I'm here with a message for everybody that I was urged to share actually by the Galactic Federation of Light. So it's a little different than some of my other videos that I've done. I get channeled messages from different sources, and recently, the last 2 nights in a row, very late at night, I've had messages from the Galactic Federation of Light. 2 nights ago, at around 1 o'clock in the morning, I had a message that was about twin flames, and that message was that we were receiving light code activations and light body activations for twin flames, specifically for the wave that is going to be going into union in the next couple of months, or I don't know about for sure going into union, but the ones that at least, you know, like an energetic kind of union. And that was activations that, as I understand, are to help further activate you to your inner knowingness, your inner self, your higher self, who you are, why you're here, your mission, and for those that are maybe in resistance of who they are, that they are a twin, who their twin is, resisting the idea of being a twin, especially for collectively the divine masculines. These activations are coming in and kind of activating that knowledge, their DNA, their awareness, and helping to clear out old programming and disconnect from old programming as well. So it's kind of plugging into new programming and unplugging from old programming. I'm actually going to make a separate video for twin flames. So anybody that wants more information just on twins, they can go to that video. But the next message I got, and the interesting one about that is if you follow Flare Brune, she receives messages from the Andromedans. She received a message right around the same time from the Andromedans, midnight her time, 1 o'clock in the morning my time, Central Time. And then last night I was woken up at 2:30 in the morning with another message from the Galactic Federation of Light with an urgent message. And so I got up and got my little notebook out and wrote down best as I could the message, and they said it was urgent and to get it posted today. I already posted a live video on my Facebook group, Awaken Your Body and Soul. So if you'd like to join, you can send a request to join my Facebook group, and it's on awakening, ascension, understanding the symptoms, and then also on twin flames. So it's kind of a little bit of everything. And I do on twin flames because I'm a twin flame myself, and this YouTube channel and the group is part of my mission. Anyway, so channeling is still, I've been getting channeled messages for about a year, but sharing them with the public is very new to me, so it's still something I'm a little uneasy with. But now that after I've gotten this message and I've kind of been seeing some other posts and chatter and stuff in different videos and different groups, it's actually a pretty consistent message. So, and it's been resonating with people in my group, so hopefully it'll resonate with you, and if it doesn't, that's okay. Everybody, the most important thing to understand is that everybody is at a different point in their journey of their ascension and their awakening, and everybody's meant to experience different things at different times. And certain things will resonate with some people and certain things won't, and that's okay. That's okay. So, you know, just take whatever resonates with you, and it's all good. So I'm going to read the majority of this message that I got. Some of it's written clearly word for word, and some of it was more of an interpretation of the information that came through, because when I channel, sometimes it's very, very clear word for word. Sometimes when I channel, I'm writing and it's just free flow writing that comes through source. Sometimes it's very auditory, and sometimes it's clear auditory and then it's a little bit of information. So it's a little bit of both. Some of this message was personal, so I'm not going to read that part. But I also did a card reading to go with it. and it really, really kind of matches and it goes along. But they wanted me to get this out there just for awareness of upcoming energy waves. So here we go. Again, this was 2:30 in the morning, my time, Central Time. We wish to bring you a message, and it is of utmost urgency. You need to prepare yourselves for an incoming energy wave. It will begin in small bursts that will be felt by many as ringing in the ears or head pressure or headaches. This is a heads up, so to speak, of the main waves to follow. It will be felt by the world, by most of the world population, much of the same way. But again, it can be just like Ascension symptoms. Some people have nausea, some people don't. Some people get headaches, some people don't. Different for everybody. It will be as if the brightness of the sun is turned up, yet will not harm your eyes. It will be difficult to focus your vision on things. Things will be fuzzy. Having many hearing may sound muffled. And what they showed me was it was kind of similar if you've ever passed out from anything, like had a syncopal episode and lost consciousness, and I used to when I was a teenager. Everything sounds really distant and muffled, and you get the ringing in your ears, and you get this kind of tunnel vision, almost, you know, that kind of weird hearing sort of thing. So hearing will be really weird and kind of muffled. Everything inside will be very bright. So it doesn't matter if you're inside or outside. Everything will just get very, very, very luminescent. And that. People will intuitively know. If you are driving, you will want to stop. People will intuitively know to slow down before, as it moves through the body, you will receive many upgrades of the DNA structure and activate dormant DNA and clear out false programming. And this doesn't all happen at once because we get these energy waves over and over and over again, but this one's going to be a little bit more intense and more obvious. We've been getting energy waves continuously, but this one is going to be a little bit more intense. This will leave many in a state of confusion after, mainly those who are very much entrenched in the matrix. For what will be the most obvious to them, they will feel as if they have been plucked out of one reality and into another, and they have. For those who are less entrenched in the matrix and are on the awakening path, their intuition will warn them of an impending event, and they will have a knowing that that it is of something of cosmic origin. The gateway to the central sun is now opening, and to begin this process. And this could also be at nighttime. So it could even happen at night. And they said that if it happens at night, that it could even wake you up in your sleep. The head pressure, headache, it's possible it could wake you up, or something might wake you up if it's at night. Power may go out. And on that note, my power went out the other day for an hour, and last week it flickered on and off. It didn't stay off. It just kind of flickered on and off. And the weather was completely fine for no reason for an hour. And another friend of mine that lives just out of town, her power was off last night. So strange things are happening. And there's, other people have been saying that they've had messages that there's going to be rolling blackouts. So I think as the more that we see these brief blackouts, or the longer that they are, the more widespread they are, that's an indication of increase in solar flares, solar activity, energy from the Schumann resonance going up, energy from the galactic sun coming, increasing, all causing power grids to go down because it's so much energy. Some may be very emotional, not understanding what is happening. It is important to not panic and remain calm. Understand that this energy wave serves to boost humanity along the ascension path, like a booster shot. You may, oh wait, sorry, that was personal. It was basically saying you may share. Prepare yourself for busy work, especially if you're a healer. Your services will be needed. And The rest was kind of personal. If you are somebody that's a light worker with any type of healing skills, psychic skills, your gifts are going to be given a kick. They're going to be given a boost. So they're going to be enhanced. Every time we get these energy shifts that come in, if you've got clairvoyance, clairaudience, claircognizance, and everybody has the ability to have these gifts, just everybody's a little different on which ones are stronger for them. So these gifts will, become stronger. If you do energy work, that gift will become stronger. Your intuition is going to become stronger. Telepathy is going to become stronger. Your skills will be enhanced with the upgrades and the light codes activations that come through. Light workers must maintain composure and remain calm. Your guidance and support are needed to help the collective. It is your time to shine. You will receive further instructions throughout this series of events. The rest was kind of personal after that. So it really wasn't a very long message. And yeah, the rest, and then the rest is a card reading it. So it wasn't a very long message. I mean, the rest of it was all personal, but basically they're just saying that, hey, this is a heads up. We want you to know that this is going to be soon, and we want you to share this with the collective. And that, for twin flames and light workers, this is why we're here. Twin flames chose to come. When I had an oversoul reading done, it was, you came here for the purpose of this awakening. And, it's really important to remember what the purpose of being a twin flame is and why we're here. And same thing with light workers. Not all light workers are twin flames. There's a lot of light workers that are not twin flames. Many of them are, but not everybody. So we're not singling anybody out or saying that one group is better than another. Everybody is equal, and we're all here with a purpose and with a job and with a mission that is equally important for each person. And this is why we're here. We are here to help humanity. We're here to guide and be the light and to raise vibration. So it's really important to maintain your vibration high, do what you need to do, just continue living your life every day, raise your vibration, ground yourself is super important. Using grounding crystals, Epsom salt baths, dance, meditation, body movement, exercise, grounding foods like earthy foods like root vegetables, any kind of root vegetables, like beets, potatoes, sweet potatoes, very, very good. Carbohydrates are very grounding. Meat is grounding too, but it's not high vibe. So you really want to have more high vibe foods. Now, if you do eat some meat, you want to make sure it's humanely raised, local, organic, as much as you're able to, and try to bless and thank your food before, and even do, put your hands over it. I do a little bit of Reiki over my food for a few seconds before. You really want high vibe food. So it's really important to maintain high vibration. Lots of water, purified water, avoid toxins. You want your water to be free of chlorine and free of fluoride, and extra rest. Yesterday, the day before, I had to really sleep extra in the afternoon, like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I had to take a good hour and a half nap. That's just very unusual for me. And talking to some other people, they're saying the same thing, or their children are feeling that. They're kids that are usually like high energy, and it's like, oh, they had to take a nap. And my dogs have been really anxious the last couple of days, having a hard time getting them settled down. So I've been using essential oils to help settle them down, like lavender and sage, other earthy type oils, calming music, just trying to keep everything really chill, and even giving them some like kind of natural supplements to help them relax. And one of my dogs is a border collie, and she's kind of high anxiety to begin with and gets restless with storms. So animals are a real indicator. Pay attention to them. Pay attention to your children, because animals and children are very sensitive. They don't have all this programming, or maybe the exposure to toxins or the news or different things that we get exposed to, and that kind of fogs everything up. You know, it creates a lot of layers to where it's harder to be aware of really what's going on and receiving the messages. And that's why it's really important to kind of disconnect from things and meditate and have a really clean diet, so we can connect to our spirit guides and our spirit team, and get messages like, you know, like I do. So yeah, really important. So the reading was interesting. I used Stephen Farmer's Earth Magic deck because I thought it'd be perfect. So, and it was interesting. The first card that came up was Tsunami, Wake Up Call. Big wave, right? Energy wave. And it's going to be very intense, and it's going to be very cleansing. And it was interesting, after I pulled these cards, I forget what I was reading, but there was another post or something that I was reading, and they actually, and it was a channeled message. And I think it might have been Andromedans, but they used the word tsunami, literally. So I thought, well, there you go. But yeah, tsunami, wake up call. You know, this energy wave, don't know when it's going to be or how intense it's going to be. They just said everybody's going to experience it, but it'll be a wake-up call. But it's also going to be, you know, a wave of light and a wave of energy. The intensity and how it's experienced is going to be, and when it's experienced, is going to be different for everybody. But you know, it will come. And it's going to be a wake-up call for humanity. And the other card that came was Rebirth, which is basically what's going on. And we are, you know, shifting. We're leaving 3D. Some say that we're already in 4D. Some say we're still a little bit in 3D. I think it depends on the person. There's some people that are in 5, 6, and 7D now. But overall, the Earth is shifting into 4D now, which is, you know, also can be termed the Rainbow Bridge, which is the transition to 5D Earth. That's where we're going. We're not there yet. Some people are on their 5D timelines, and that's where they are now. They've been on this awakening path a long time. Sorry, I think my throat chakra is kind of activating right now, so it's a little, my voice seems a little harsh, hoarse. But yeah, the rebirth is, you know, these activations that are coming through, it's kind of like it's cleansing out old programming, and we're being unplugged from old programming and connected to new programming. Our DNA is being activated from 2-stranded to 5-stranded to 12-stranded eventually, and that's where we're going. So, and in that DNA lies codes, lies spiritual gifts, lies ability to heal ourselves. So much more that we don't know. There's so much that we don't know. Milky Way perspective is another card that came. So, you know, the Milky Way, it's our galaxy, and this is a kind of a galaxy-wide event as the Earth goes through ascension. The Earth itself does, everything and everyone on it does, but also the energy permeates through our whole galaxy, and the whole galaxy is going through ascension. So everybody is kind of stepping up a notch, so to speak. But the whole galaxy is also supporting us and surrounding us, and you know, all eyes are on Earth basically right now. And it has a ripple effect, you know, like we're all connected to oneness, and what happens here has a ripple effect. So it's kind of like everybody, all eyes are on Earth, and, you know, really celebrating us and this process and the work, the hard work that all the light workers have done and why we are here, you know. And they're really celebrating the work that everybody has done, and we have to keep our perspective. You know, we've got to keep our perspective and why we're here, and the purpose. And it's for this light activation, this ascension, this awakening. And it's so much bigger than us. I mean, it's so much bigger than us, right? It's, yeah, and so I mean, just the connection that we have with all the other planets in our solar system and the entire galaxy, um, it's huge, and it we help lift them up too, just like your vibration helps lift or bring down the person next to you. It's the same thing in the galaxy. Submerged iceberg is another one, and this has a couple different messages, and I think initially, when I looked at this card, the message is that iceberg, what we see on top is a very small amount. What's submerged underneath is, what is it, like 75 or 80% or something of the iceberg exists under the water. So you don't see. So right now we don't see what's out in the galaxy or around Earth in our orbit, and all the support of our Galactic Federation and other Andromedans and Arcturians and all the different, benevolent light beings that are around us. They are all supporting us, and they're hidden, but they're also kind of slowly showing themselves, like they're winking, so to speak. They're showing themselves in little bits, but they're here helping us. The other message that came through with this is there's a lot that we don't see behind the scenes in terms of media, government, healthcare system, just what's going on in the world in general. There's a lot of illusions, and it's not all, what you see on the outside is not the whole picture. So there's going to be exposures of what is submerged and what's the illusion. What's submerged, like the bottom of the iceberg underwater, is going to be exposed. So that goes along with full disclosure. So, full disclosure is going to be coming, and it's been trickling. People are becoming more and more aware, living in the kind of a matrix that we live in. More aware that there's just so much corruption and so many lies, and there's just a lot of untruths that are out there, and it's really hard to know what the heck to believe some days. And you grow up thinking a certain way and believing a certain thing, and like, this is my truth, and then all of a sudden you learn something else and you look at it differently, and your world's turned upside down, and it's not your truth, and it's really hard. But I think having an open mind is super important, and not attaching to any belief, but being open to every and all and any belief. Because beliefs are very limiting, and they can hold us back from seeing the truth and seeing the bigger picture. And that's that Milky Way perspective card, right? Is seeing the bigger picture, and trying to have a really open mind, and dropping belief systems, and just be open to whatever comes in, whatever information, whatever truth, whatever is being exposed, and just being really open and letting go of resistance. So when I had asked about symptoms, Ascension symptoms, because I was feeling dizzy and trouble focusing yesterday, and the card that came up was Crystals Focus. This is a gorgeous amethyst cave, which, the crystalline grid is being activated, so I think that's part of this. But the other thing that came through was that crystals can really help ground. So good grounding crystals, I use red jasper, black tourmaline's a good one, shungite, any of the black stones. Obsidian is easy to find, I use that. Any of the dark red or black crystals. Hematite is another really good grounding crystal. So using grounding crystals can really help to ground. If things that amethyst actually can help with focus, and there's other ones that you can Google. There's so many types of crystals, but just whatever you have already, or go to a store, and whatever you're drawn to. So another thing, a card that came up was breathe. Goes back to grounding, getting out in nature, going out in for a walk, getting fresh air, staying grounded on the earth. And I have to really focus on this because I tend sometimes to really be in the 5D space doing card readings and stuff like that, or meditating or getting channeled messages, and it's kind of like, oh wait, back to reality. I have a 3D life to live, and it can be hard going back and forth. So I have to really put effort into that myself more. But breathing is also about coming back to your center if you're feeling anxious. If the energies are coming through and you have ascension symptoms, especially with heart chakra activations, you can feel very anxious. You can feel heart palpitations. Anxiety can come up. Fear, doubt, abandonment, all kinds of emotions can come up, because as the activations come through, it can trigger things you have to release, right, to make room for more coming in. So sometimes things will come up that have been kind of embedded in you energetically to be released, and so you could have emotional releases. Past traumas can come up, and with Venus going retrograde tomorrow, I think tomorrow, the next day, that's going to happen even more. There's going to be a lot of stuff from the past, especially related to relationships, that can come up to be released, healing. So just breathe through it. Breathe through whatever it is that's coming through, whether it's an emotion or a symptom, or if somebody else is being triggered or irritable that you're around at the grocery store, family, whoever. Breathe through it. Come back to your breath. Come back to your heart center, and just breathe. Stay grounded. Feel your feet planted on the ground, on the floor, and ask Gaia to ground you down, and just imagine coming out of the chakras at the bottom of your feet, that you have roots coming out of your tailbone and the bottom of your feet, going down to the core of the earth, and just feeling yourself being grounded. Important practice, a mentor kind of shared with me the other day, a practice that she has is first thing she does when she sits up in bed is grounds herself down and does this practice. And I thought, wow, what a great way to start the day, is to ground down, first thing in the morning. So breathe. And then from my Lightworker Oracle deck, this was appropriate. Unplug from mass consciousness. This is an Alana Fairchild deck. Unplug from mass consciousness. So it's kind of what I was already saying, that unplugging from the matrix, from mainstream everything, religion and media mostly, government controls, understanding that what we're told and what we're shown is not the full picture. And I think most of us kind of have figured that out. It's not the full picture, and there's a lot of illusions, and there's a lot of game playing going on. There's a lot going on that is meant to look one way, and really what's going on is something totally different. And I think when the right time is right, we are going to find out all the right information, and it's frustrating, and people get angry. They get angry that, we pay taxes, whatever, we hire these elected officials, and it's just so much, baloney and BS that's going on, and it makes people really angry. So just try to disconnect from that, because the fear and the anger lowers your vibration, and that's the worst thing to do. Going through the ascension, we have to raise vibration, and letting go of fear and becoming love is what we have to really, really, really try to focus and embody. I used to be huge watching the news, like 2-3 hours a day, like all the news channels, record the local news, everything. I mean, I never missed anything. That's what I watched. And TV programming too. I was very much embedded in this mass consciousness myself up until a little over a year ago. Guilty. Until I had my awakening and I unplugged, and it was like, wow. I have zero desire to watch TV, and when I go to other people's houses that have TV on, my skin crawls. I can't, it's hard for me I have to really energetically block myself from absorbing that energy. But it's really important to have awareness when you do watch, or have anything to do with mass consciousness. And I'm not saying it's all bad. There are good people in every sector of life, whether it's police force, government, medical, what have you. There's good people everywhere, and there's light workers everywhere. Some of them may not be awoken yet or even know they're light workers, but you know, we have to have faith and support the ones that really are the good guys and not assume everybody's bad, because there's good guys everywhere, just like there's bad guys everywhere, you know. So, and then from my Keepers of the Light deck, Divine Director card came up, and that is Intervention and Purpose. Divine interventions occurring. Know that you're being guided. Happiness is your purpose. So, and this was a card for the collective as well. So all of these energy shifts, it's not all natural. Some of it is, but it's not all natural. It's very much controlled and manipulated, not in a bad way. It's very much controlled because, you know, there was talk about this big energy wave coming in April, and it came for some, but not everybody. And it was, they realized the energy waves were too intense, and they kind of had to dial back the energy. So now they're dialing it back up again, because they've been giving us kind of like, if you ever had allergy shots and you get like a little tiny bit and then a little bit more and then a little bit more, and you get these little boosters. It's kind of like that. So it's being controlled, and they monitor how we're handling it. So that's why it's important to keep vibration up and unplug from mass consciousness. Have awareness, but try to kind of disconnect from it. The other card that came up was Kuan Yin, Care and Compassion. Choose to be love, which is what we're doing. You know, we're going to 5D. You know, it's leaving the 3D ego, 3D consciousness, 3D greed, 3D fear-based programming to love and doing for others, and letting go of the fear, letting go of ego. And, you know, a very peaceful society is what we're shifting to. It says, do what is right for everyone involved, offer a helping hand. So, light workers, this is your call to action. And speaking of which, Commander Ashtar, call to action, also came up. So, you know, walk your talk, take charge, lead by example. So this is a call to action for light workers. Maintaining vibration, staying calm, be an example to others, helping out other people that have no clue what is going on. Don't scare them. We don't have to go telling them, oh my God, you're not going to believe what's going to happen. But have the awareness. If you feel somebody can handle this information, share it. But use your intuition. Everybody has their own timing of when they're meant to wake up. Some in their soul contract are not meant to wake up at all. They're meant to stay in 3D with 3D lessons and kind of lower vibe. And they're going to really struggle with higher vibration. Some are meant to wake up however they're meant to wake up. And if it's through you, just through talking to you and little things that you share, fine. But, you know, share things for the right reasons. Don't do things to think that you have to, you know, play God, so to speak, and it's like, well, oh my gosh, you know, don't do it out of fear. Like everybody needs to wake up. No, I woke up a little over a year ago after, you know, it was triggered by my twin flame, meeting my twin flame. That was my path. That was my journey. I wasn't meant to wake up 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. It wasn't the right time. It was meant to happen, how it happened, where it happened, when it happened, and by the person that was meant to, you know, to trigger that. Same goes for everybody else. We have to respect where others are. We have to respect where coworkers and family and friends are. That if they're very much in 3D world, that's fine. If you feel like you need to step back from that energy, that's fine. Do what you need to do to protect your energy. But it's not up to us to go out and say, everybody has to wake up. You have to know all of this stuff and the lies. Share stuff on social media. You know, I'm not saying be in a bubble and don't share anything. Share little bits here and there. Absolutely. Whoever's meant to see it is going to see it. If you post something and they're not meant to see it because they're not ready for it, then they're not going to see it. Whoever's meant to see. So if you do post a, you know, whatever video publicly on your feed, if you, whatever you post and share, totally fine. Whoever's meant to see it, it's meant to see it. If they see it and they disagree with it and they get triggered by it, that's fine too. That's their path. That's where they are. And we have to really honor that and accept that, of where they are. And I think, it's kind of like how, years ago when I was a teenager, I was part of a church, and for a few years, and it was very kind of preachy, and it's like, oh, you have to go out and, testimony, to people on the street. And they had us, like, I was 12, 13 years old, going up to people, in the street, it's like, have you found Jesus? Have you found Jesus? And this kind of stuff. And I felt so uncomfortable because I thought, this is personal. It's not up to me to go talk to strangers and say this, I respect everybody's choice and everybody's personal path and where they are on their journey. If they're meant to catch up, they're going to catch up in their own way, and that's okay. Same thing with our twin flames. It's hard because there's often one twin that's more advanced than the other, and we can get really frustrated and angry and judge them. And we're not meant to judge. We're meant to unconditionally love them and honor where they are on their path. And that, and I'm guilty of this too. We want to try to share so much information because it's like, oh, you got to catch up to me, and we panic because what if they're not where I am, and what if they aren't on the same page as I am? There must be something wrong. There's nothing wrong. They just have their journey, and they have to learn things in their own way. It's like a child. You can't have a child and do everything for them. They have to learn how to tie their own shoe. They have to learn how to read. You can't sit and read, the book for them every time. They have to learn on their own. And it's a little slow, and it's a bit of a struggle at first until they learn. And that's okay. So we just have to honor and respect. The other card that came through is Horus Cosmic Gateway. And it says, your thoughts are magnetic and powerful. Miraculous changes are occurring. So yeah, there was a lot of miraculous changes coming through the Cosmic Gateway, basically. And then I asked Archangel Michael for guidance, and very basic guidance, typical kind of Archangel Michael, go forward fearlessly. So we don't know when this is going to be, and there's going to be multiple waves, and so just keep setting out on your goals, set your goals, do your mission, do your work, live your life, go out with your friends, get out in nature, and don't sit around and wait, and just live your life without fear. And then the other card was let go of your fear. So don't hold any fear to this. Keep your vibration high. You can lean on the angels, pray, ask for guidance from your whoever are your spirit guides, angels, ancestors, doesn't matter, Gaia, Jesus, doesn't matter, whoever is your person, that whatever energy that you connect with, that you feel. And if it's just meditation, that's okay, but go in and ask the universe for guidance, and then keeping your thoughts positive, which I love this card, all the rainbow colors. It needs just to have a prayer at the bottom, but positive thoughts create positive results. So just, don't put fear energy into this, because fear energy feeds the lower vibrational energies out there, and we don't want to feed them. It's like food for them. And if you've ever watched Alana Ash, she kind of says the same thing. So anyway, that's really the message that I have today. We're right at 39 minutes, so I didn't want it to be too long. I just wanted to get this out there. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and I thank you for your support, and to all new subscribers. And I'm going to do a separate video for twin flames on these ascension energies and what is going to be shifting. And I'm going to pull cards for that too. And it'll be a divine masculine, divine feminine kind of combined, union energy kind of reading is what I'm going to do. And I did get my PayPal set up, so I will finish setting up my YouTube here at some point and put my PayPal links in there for anybody that wants to do any type of work with me, reading, kind of soul coaching type stuff. guidance and or energy work or all of the above. I do Reiki as well. So anyways, and energy work is really helpful for dealing with these energies. So just you can put a message if you do want to have some type of energy work done as well. So I thank you again, and just again, this was urgent, but I don't know when. It could be tomorrow, it could be a week from now, it could be 2 weeks from now. But just kind of go with the flow, and pay attention to the kids and dogs. Keep your vibration high. Probably the biggest thing. Okay, guys? And eat high vibrational foods. Stay healthy. I love you all. Thank you so much. And you have a wonderful evening, afternoon, morning, depending where you are, whenever you watch this. And thank you so much. Bye-bye.